Hello, everyone. Welcome back for Tuesday Night Modern here at Top Deck Productions. I am your host, Jake Valentine. Adam Olds, my cohort, partner in crime, and color commentator extraordinaire, sitting to my left.
Hello.
Ready to bring you 4 rounds of some hot modern action. We have some already a question for Awakening Cadavers, asking how we feel about Jund. They've been thinking about building it. So, Adam, how do you feel about Jund?
I actually like it, but it's still it's always a 55-45 deck in my mind, no matter what, even if it's better positioned. The problem with Jund is you really have to know the metagame, because sideboarding is very difficult because all your cards are good.
Yeah, that is very true. You play 75 very powerful cards, and you do some really good things with the deck.
Sideboarding is
no Jund here, though. We have Mark Anliker on the right, on red-green Eldrazi Tron, and then Ash Huston, not Huston, he told me, Huston, on blue-white control. Mark, of course, just top forward the Columbus SHG Regionals with his typical Naya deck, but he likes to mix it up every now and then on Tuesdays, and in the past, we saw Mardu tokens, and now we see some red-green Eldrazi. This deck
tokens sans the Pyromancer.
This deck seems like it's more up Mark's alley.
Why do you say that?
Just red-green.
There's no Wanakotl.
Good stuff. There's no Wanakotl, but instead he gets to play a 4/4. He gets to play.
Do you think this is the more traditional list? Because Mark's known for his spicy one-offs. Do you know if this is a more traditional list, or is
that's a good question. That's a good question. He's off camera currently checking something.
Kurt Ape.
Streamer Justin Blackburn tonight saying maybe Kurt Ape, maybe Thunder My Hellkite, maybe Bonfire of the. I think I saw Bonfire of the Damned.
I think it puts Bonfire of the Damned in literally any deck that plays red. So the other thing about Jund is how much do you like playing around Blood Moon?
Well, some people play Blood Moon in their Jund deck.
I think it's a terrible idea.
Agreed.
But you can, and
1000% agreed.
Top Deck Productions, other Magic Ringer of late. Robert Meadows plays Blood Moon in his blue-red control decks.
He does love his Blue Moon. Teddy commenting in, they own Jund, and it's nice to play it from time to time. Michael Farrell, the Jund master, might be making his return soon. He was here Friday night.
Oh, yeah, no. He asked me if I wanted to go to. We need to find one more person to go to. Breaking Benjamin, and I forgot who's with him.
Was that tonight?
No, it's like August 28th, something like that.
Gotcha. All right, Ash with the tap Glacial Fortress. Mark on the play with the Eldrazi Temple into Expedition map. Pretty good start there for Mark.
So the interesting thing about this deck is you always have to make a decision if you're going to lead out with a Tron land, or you're going to lead out with a Temple. So basically, I only ever lead out when I played Eldrazi Tron, not red green. Would only lead Eldrazi Temple if I had the thought on turn 2. So I'm not really sure if Mark has any Tron pieces in his hand. I do see Thought-Knot Seer.
So he wants to do Thought-Knot Seer.
Because turn 5 Tron is not great.
No. I mean,
So he chose
benefit to playing the Eldrazi Tron deck over traditional Tron is you at least have a backup plan. If you don't get Tron in turn 3, you can at least play a bunch of big dumb space aliens, which Mark may be angling here for.
Yeah, which is nice because you actually don't need Tron to play most of these cards. You just have to have your colored source. So do you know if Ash is on the Wink edition of Celestial Colonnade or various Chads? Chad is Gideon, for those of
not sure. I don't think he's playing Chads. I think he's just playing Colonnade. We're going to take a look at his hand. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of that. We see Supreme Verdict, Serum Visions, Glacial Fortress, number 2, and Double Path. So he has an answer for this. Thought-Knot Seer.
So do you take... I'd either take the Visions or the Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, I'd rather have Path because if he targets Realize Mesh with it, it's a 2-for-1 still. Whereas Verdict is just a clean answer, and Vision's going to help filter out his draw steps.
So you can sculpt your... He was playing Geist in 75? Okay, cool. So, I mean, you can sculpt your game plan with your hasty threats and what's going on in your hand to play around a Supreme Verdict. So, I don't know. I still might be inclined to take these Serum Visions. 100% would have taken one of the...
Did he take anything?
He took a Path to Exile.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like that play. In general, if you have two copies of something in your hand, in your opponent's hand, you generally don't take you don't take the doubles because there's no point unless you just can't beat it.
Ash should just play a tap fortress and pass it back.
Arc with a main deck revoker. Yeah, interesting.
So let's see what Mark's flop. He knows about the one path to exile. He has the Phyrexian Evoker. There's some spice there from Mark.
Yeah. He's drew another path.
It'll be pretty feels bad if he has path number 3 after a path being taken.
Yeah, I mean, let him 1-for-1 you all day. I just don't like the idea of. Yeah, so we actually talked about this sort of interaction before the game. This is one of the interactions I believe you have to remind your opponent of now.
Yep, it's something beneficial for the opponent, so you must let them know.
Yeah, Ash has to remind Mark to get a land, and Mark has to remind Ash to draw a card, which is still very strange. And
but of course, you don't have to remind your opponent about your prowess triggers. They just happen, period.
That one I agree with. Until the damage becomes relevant, we write it on a pad. I don't think that's something you should have to mention. Now, if it's like a monastery mentor and you don't remember to make a token, that one to me.
Yeah, that's a trigger you can just miss.
Yeah, but it's weird because they're both triggers. So.
Here's a Mind Stone from Mark.
Mind Stone, the best card. Relic of Progenitus.
A relic.
Okay.
Into exile your path.
I don't like how this game is shaping up for Mr. Anliker unless he tops out. I'm not sure what he tops out at. If he tops out at like Ulamog, then this game would favor Mark.
I don't think he does though.
These decks traditionally don't.
Let's pull up a red.
Oh man,
green.
that one says the perfect guide.
No, I'm not seeing in these lists. Just Reality Smasher and Endbringer is the top end for some of these lists. Of course,
I love Endbringer.
Mark could completely eschew that. Especially if he's playing like a Tron variant of the deck, and he could play, Karn Liberateds, maybe some Karn Centivers that will take care of this little hiccup momentarily.
I was googling because the price breakdown on Goldfish for the deck is like $15. Double Hierarchs, $315. Sorry, folks. We'll be back up in a second while we restart the stream or refresh it. Mark cycles. That's what he draws into. So at some point, Mark's just going to have to start jamming out threats here. Again, this is why you take the Supreme Verdict. Or take the Serum Visions.
Yeah, even the Verdict, because, Mark has to add to the board, and he knows his mass removal in Ash's hand.
Like, he can overcome 1-for-1 removal because he has a Relic. He's not going to get Snapcaster to death.
He's a mana reshaper.
But he cannot. This is a dice trigger, not a battlefield trigger. But he cannot keep up if Ash just lets him overextend, or even extend just a little bit.
We'll see if Ash wants to path this, because then it is a dice trigger, correct?
Correct. If I'm Ash, I don't care about this. You're at 20. Use your life total as a resource.
Something extremely relevant now in the standard blue-white control decks, using your life as a resource.
Right. I'll stabilize it too. Just don't have 2 Chain Whirlers that result.
Pretty much, yeah.
What do you think about the Pro Tour?
I have some interesting comments about the Pro Tour coming up. I wonder a lot if people were hesitant in their blue-white control deck instructions about having to, as Ash almost misses that search trigger. He even pointed to it and almost put the card in the hand. But I wonder if people were a little bit aware that blue-white control in standard doesn't have win conditions, and they constructed a deck to actually, win the games. The Pro Tour, people will not concede to you.
Correct, yeah. And I mean, you always have to take Pro Tour results with a grain of salt anyways, because the testing is very inbred. Like, the Pro Tour metagame does not actively reflect the metagame for normal larger tournaments. No. It's a good measure, and it's a good way to get ideas, but...
it's not the end-all, be-all.
It's not the end-all, be-all.
What format was it that Pro Tour was dominated by?
Eldrazi winner.
No, I think it was Our Devastation was all about Rabbit Up Red, and then all of a sudden Team Energy was just the deck, period, bar none. And the Revolt went from being Martyr Vehicles to 4 colors to Healy. So yeah, the Pro Tour isn't the end-all be-all.
It seems as of late, just play an aggro deck.
Yeah.
at least in the standard portion. But also keep in mind, for those of you that look at Pro Tour results, and we can get into this more later, but just because a deck top 16 or top 32 doesn't mean it's a great standard deck, because Pro Tour results are based off of also draft results. So you can go 6-0 in draft and have a mediocre Pro Tour from a standard perspective.
I remember showed his deck at Kaladesh. He won with it, and he said, "Don't play it. It's a Pro Tour deck."
Right. It makes me miss block Pro Tours.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting.
Nobody liked them. I liked them because they were kind of neat, right? Because it's just stuff that you've never seen, because nobody plays block outside the Pro Tour.
I like the Theros block one, because just Abzan won, and then we're getting into a set where the Abzan cards look good. So I'm like, I should just build Abzan, I guess, because it's getting better.
I like Pro Tour when, like, the 4/4 instant, they made a 5/5 worm, or...
Roll the Worm, Advent of the Worm.
Yeah, Advent of the Worm. That was a hot card.
That came in the finals in the 15-core set.
Oh, really?
Yeah, against it was Jackson Cunningham against Ivan Flock and his.
That's right, Jackson.
His
Cunningham.
original
Good,
winless blue-white control deck.
Yeah. The old Avon Flock. He even has his own invitational card, also known as Avon Flock. And I'm lying.
I want to try to get the Owen Turnwald image from that. Here's a Thought-Nuts here coming in. Let's see what Ash responds with it. He's gonna path the response to the ability. He's going to draw a card, and then the trigger's going to resolve.
Haven Flock. That's not... No, it's not It was the 05 that flipped... It's not...
But this is my favorite image, though. I'm going to paste it in the chat for you. If I can get the actual image.
All right, so you... Please stop taking... Do not take his Path to Exile. Take his Supreme Verdict, for crying out loud. You have more creatures than he has...
I mean, don't you want to take the Path here, though? Because at least if he verdicts, he gets some value off this Matter Shaper.
No, because I want to play another creature out next turn and smash your face, right? Because Ash is still at 19.
Ash should be at 16.
Okay, he should.
Yeah, Ash is at 16.
He would have to be at 16, or lower, because if he fetched. All right. Yeah, so he's at 16. Yep.
Yeah, Advent of the Worm was the Green White card you're talking about. This image I'm posting in chat. That is my favorite image from that Pro Tour.
So I'm not particularly enamored that Mark aggressively cycled his Relic against the deck with Snapcaster.
In Snapcaster Mage, yeah.
And Snapcaster Mages, because that just seems not great.
What do you take with the Thought Knot? Did he take the...
He took Supreme Verdict.
I see it must be then some idiots.
This was pre-clean-cut Hall of Fame Owen.
Yeah, don't Justin, don't bother putting that. It's not... will not fit in our card image. Just Owen Turnwald having Supreme Sphinx of Relation cast against him.
Yeah, that was a fun card. Let's not print that ever again. Ooh, you think they'll print it again and return to Ravnica?
We talked about this last week. You said absolutely not.
Yeah, no, I can't.
He's a Spreading Seeds on the Keswick Wolf run. It's a very important one.
That's the other Mark. That's the other Mark Anliker invitational card. Is Keswick Wolf run.
He's a Wool Owens. Ash will draw a card and prevent a roadblock for that Matter Shaper, which is now essentially useless.
This looks like a little more of a brewy. Yes, Ungiven for land.
Is that
Yeah, I always think that's a commander card, but that was from like Rise or something.
It is not another card, but apparently it's literally Gifts Ungiven, but for lands. Realms Uncharted. It is from Rise of Eldrazi. So Mark is running Tron pieces. So I imagine he has a higher end than
Do you think he's running 12 Tron pieces? Mark before has run less than 12 Tron pieces, and was trying to explain to me that it is correct.
For those that don't know, too, Mark thinks Kevin Scholl should be not just banned, but shot out of a cannon into space. He does not like that card. Someone's saying that they hope that they reprint Zephyr Spirit in upcoming Ravnica.
Yeah. I hope they bring back the graft mechanic. Not really.
Zephyr Spirit. 6 for 6 mana. When it blocks, return it to their hand.
How can you design this Magic card and think, golly, this is really worth it?
When did Ravnica come out?
I don't know, 1992.
No, it was 2006, 2007, I think.
Okay.
How many cards, though? Because remember, Ravnica came out after Kamigawa. So...
Yeah, this looks like it belongs with Kamigawa.
How many cards is this... Is this better than most, if not all, cards Kamigawa? With the exception of Jitte.
No.
No?
I refuse. What? It wasn't Isamaruan. What else? 8.5 Tails.
Someone pointing out, it doesn't even fly. It's terrible.
Yeah, I don't get it. So actually, Kamigawa is a flashback draft on Moto right now, and I played one draft of it, and it was the worst. I'd never drafted before. It's the worst thing I've ever played in my life.
Me and some friends, as Mark's going to cast a... Well, I do not know the name of that card. I should know the name of that card.
Sylvan Scrying?
Yeah, Sylvan Scrying. I forgot what it. Anyway, me and some friends drafted some Kamigawa once. There's a caveat, though. There were no rares. It was just Kevin Sanders. We drafted the Kamigawa cards he owned, which is all a bunch of commons and uncommons.
Okay.
It was miserable. 5-person draft. It was miserable. Somebody won because they had like a pinger that dealt one every turn.
Yeah. 5 colors of bears. I wish. I drafted 2 Hondens. I drafted the blue Honden and the black Honden. Honden, H-O-N-D-O-N.
We'll get this camera situated for you again momentarily. Apologize for that. Our camera's been acted up recently. It'll be time for a new overhead camera. There we go. In fact, I might just switch them out at the end of this round.
I played against somebody last night that had a Ryusei. That was fun. Because normally, you know, that card's always sucked and limited.
Where'd you think of the Lorwyn flashback draft? Did you enjoy that?
Which one?
Lorwyn flashback?
I love Lauren Flashback.
Or was it, as they spelled it, Lauren?
Lauren.
Lauren.
I love Lauren Flashback drafts. It's always fun when that comes online. I just wish they weren't Phantom. Or if they're Phantom, why do you charge $10 for something that I get nothing for?
Because people pay it.
It's because it's the only way they can do it. Like, even if people didn't do it, they'd still charge $10. I think it's ridiculous. You get nothing out of it. Wolf Run. He doesn't have it.
No, Wolf Run is now an island. Here is a World Breaker. That's a pretty good one to play here.
All right, so yeah, I get rid of Spreading Seas. I actually agree.
Get back your Wolf Run, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see if he sees it. Or I mean, he could get rid of the.
It is a cast trigger too, I believe.
Is it enchantment or no? It's a land or.
When you cast this spell, exile target artifact, enchantment, or land.
How do you get a search?
He's taking the Detention Spear.
I disagree with. I don't like that.
You value the Wolf Run more than this, the Bestiary?
No, I would have gotten rid of the search for Escana. So how does Ash win this game from here, right? He's going to run out of spot removal eventually. So Ash is going to win this game through card advantage. And that's search for Escana, so I definitely kill the Escana.
Ash will also win the game with a card in his hand.
What, Gear Hulk?
He has a Torrential Gear Hulk. Yeah, that's a way to win this game.
I mean, I'd rather have the Eldrazi.
Now, note here, too, Mark has the ability to bring this Willbreaker back, and I'm pretty sure he knew about the mana leak in Ash's hand, so his plan here just could flat have been, I know you're going to counter it, I'm going to bring it back and take care of the search then.
Ash also had a Path to Exile. I don't understand not pathing a recursive threat.
And he's giving Mark another cast trigger off it, too. Also, Mark has...
Can you draw Growth for turn? Well, he has a Smasher. Is that another World Breaker?
I think he has another Willbreaker in the hand, yeah.
Alright, just start World Breaking. He might want to attack first, just saying.
Here's Willbreaker number 2.
He's going to draw a card.
He's going to draw a card. Mark's plan is to outgrind the control deck. He's going to draw the card first before the cast trigger off World
Actually,
Breaker.
I'm not sure what Ash is trying to check. It doesn't matter. But
Let's see if Ash wants to flash in his Gear Hulk to counter World Breaker number 2.
I think if this is not going to pat the X out of the World Breaker, then he's having a problem.
Because again, Mark can just keep bringing it back, and if Ash wants to win this game with Trinity Gear Hulk, I mean, World Breaker takes care of that card too.
Correct. World Breaker's a gigantic card.
It blocks it well, and it just exiles it straight up.
Especially because he had the Gear Hulk. Oh, Ash.
Ash is going to get a counter it, and Mark will eventually, I imagine, bring it right on back.
I don't understand this line. I'm not to ask Ash what he's thinking. It might be because he wants to catch them all. No, he wants to be the best there ever was, like no one was before.
Ash is going to draw for turn. It's like a Snapcaster Mage. Here's 2 mana. Spreading Seas number 2. We're going to say goodbye to the power plant.
I'd probably just board out all these Spreading Seas if I was Ash. Like, these are better against, like, Eldrazi Tron.
Yeah, but against Mark, he's getting...
But he gets to play, he gets to play other versions of Mana Realm. Whatever the 2 mana... You can crack to draw card is.
Yeah.
I'm having a brain fart. What's the name of the card?
But, like, he doesn't need the Tron lands.
Correct. Mind Stone, there you go. Mind Stone, thank you.
Is it Mind Stone an artifact, though?
It is. Yeah, but he's using Mind Stone, so he doesn't care about. He's not gonna get taken off of colored sources. If I'm Mark, I certainly don't block here.
You don't need to yet, right? Well, he's thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Your life total's not under duress.
He's gonna block. Looks like we have a trigger. I mean, Mark might want to live.
Man,
Mark want to live the dream of flipping over Eldrazi Temple here and getting back World Breaker. Nope, just Ancient Stirrings. I hear that card's pretty good.
It's not bad. Some people call it demonic. Excuse me.
That's you.
Demonic Tutor, which it certainly is not. But
Mark gonna start the Bestiary. He's going to think and keep. Didn't get a good look at it.
Yeah. I wonder if Ash is playing like Elspeth or an actual way to end the game.
You know he's playing Geist, or was playing Geist.
I don't think Geist goes in your Gear Hulk.
No, yeah. Maybe it's just Gear Hulk. Mark picks up a Thought-Knot Seer off of the Ancient Stirrings to go along with Rally Smasher in hand, so he can smash him face.
I would just smash some face here. Smash face, draw card. Let's go. Let's race. Ash, how many cards does Ash have in hand? 2? It's a Snapcaster and a Path to Exile?
Yeah.
So no matter what, he has to use both cards in his hand.
Yep. This is 4 mana, 5 mana.
He's going to do that as you tap the Grove, unless he's playing Thought-Knot, which I don't think I would play. Okay, he's playing Rowdy. Oh, okay, nice. I like this.
Around a mana leak? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know, I would have... Draw trigger on the stack. We can see a path.
Again, I'm confused why we're responding to that trigger. I don't see what he could do. Azorius Charm is...
That's Azorius Charm, not a Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah.
But he has to use both cards in hand still.
Correct. Give us a second. We need to do a...
He's gonna cycle it.
But there's no cards in his deck that can stop that unless he's playing the Cycling Bird.
The Nimble Instructionist.
Yeah, but it still takes both of his cards.
Yeah. Mark plays land for turn. He's just swinging there for 5. Actually, I'm going to empty his hand out to Path to Smasher.
Okay. So Mark ends up plus a card.
Yeah.
And Ash is down 2 resources.
And Mark has the ability to end a turn if he wants to. End of Ash's turn. Bring back a World Breaker.
which coincidentally also exiles Gear Hulk.
Yep. Mark being able to outvalue and outgrind the control deck.
Interesting. Do you think this game is gonna? Do you think this match is going to come to a natural conclusion at this pace?
I do not.
So Ash, I can't. Oh, we got rid of the search. Never mind. Yeah. So.
Thank you for the follow there, Highlander Vortex. Appreciate that. Appreciate you turning in. I'll be right back.
All right, nice. So Mark actually brings back the Gear Hulk. So it looks like he's just going to go to Value Town here. Oh, okay, that's a hot one. Mark tops Relic of Progenitus. So it looks like his line is draw a card off of World Breaker. Let's see if Mark remembers that he can get. Oh, nice! He gets the Gear Hulk, which is disgusting, and he's drawing a card off Lifecrafter Bestiary. Mark the non-control deck with a full grip, which is insane to me. Alright, so Ash is asking if there's a Tower of the Mind. I'm not sure that's relevant now because he literally has like 10 lands in play. We have Classic, the Citrus one, and Red Alert. Are we still doing the Eternal Mountain Dew debate?
I hope so, because I plan on in the future having I want to do a blind Mountain Dew taste test here in the future on stream.
Yeah, fine, whatever.
Not a fan of that?
Well, because if I have to drink the Diet Mountain Dew,
you're not going to drink. I'm going to drink it.
That's fine. Can we do the Pepsi challenge?
What's the Pepsi challenge?
Pepsi or Coke?
I hate both of those. So
it'd be easy. Like they taste completely different. The real question is:
the last time I had Coke, it was vomit-inducing, disgusting.
Jack's an engineer. Jack's talking about it. Jack, would you volunteer to do the every brand of Mountain Dew challenge? It's like the Dr. Thunder, all the off-brands Mountain Dew.
Oh, jeez.
There's like 20 different types. Which one's the best?
Baja Blast. That's like the only logical answer is Baja Blast.
You mean normal?
I mean, the original Gamer Fuel was great.
Baja Blast was forever ruined to me when one of our mutual friends decided that Baja Blast equals mixed drinks only. So
who was that?
I don't think you know him. Chris Sears Dundies.
I know of him, yes.
Jack knows him.
Meanwhile, Mark is just getting too much value now. He's able to exile some of these problematic permanents from Ash, and Ash, all he can do is I'm not sure what Ash can do at this point.
He can't. He had to keep his search for Ascana, and that's how his comeback would have happened. So, Jack, the real question is, Jack used to make robots because he's an engineer, a smart guy. But can he build a robot that can tell the difference between Mountain Dew and Diet Mountain Dew?
Yes, and the important questions here, sir.
Right.
Here comes 4 mana. A Settle the Wreckage.
For one creature, I do it for free.
Exiling the Recursive Threat.
I wish there's a Diet Baja Blast. I found exactly one Taco Bell in Cincinnati.
So, like...
Is that the Taco Bell that has the full bar?
The Cantina? Might be.
I guarantee, Jake. Have you taken Stephanie?
Yes, we've gone there to the
That's
Cantina.
A date. Of course you have.
I forget why we were down there, but we went there.
For a date. Of course you have.
So it's getting interesting because Ashcan has no cards in hand, but Mark still needs to win the game at some point.
In the hopes that this game comes to a natural conclusion, this match comes to a natural conclusion. If I'm Ash, I probably scoop.
I'm not sure there's a ballista in Mark's hand or not. It looks like a ballista. I don't know.
He has a ballista, and he also has a...
It is a ballista. Ballista in Reshaper.
And he also has the Friction Revoker.
Yeah.
North Cantina, fun fact, me and Taylor went there last Thursday and ran a Kyle Kepi. Oh my god.
A Kyle Kepi sighting.
How was Kyle?
Here comes another World Breaker from Mark. Goodbye Spreading Seas.
Oh.
This brings back Keswick Wolf Run, which get into the game in a hurry. And then there's a activation of the relic.
Coincidentally, Mark could have also put Ash down to like 4 lands by now.
True.
Not that matters, but
I think Mark does not care about Ash's land just because he knows that Ash is not doing anything. He has no board presence at all. Therefore, he doesn't care how much mana Ash has.
what if he draws a Sphinx's Rev? It's right back in the game.
Accurate. Not sure Ash is running it though, and I think Mark is aware of that. Here's 4 mana for a Thought Not Seer. Let's see what Ash has in hand.
I actually like this. I like this before combat here to check for another settle. Normally, I'd prefer to attack first.
Just a Flooded Strand. Here comes a big attack. Ash goes down to 12.
What's Mark gonna do? Follow up. He needs to dig for more threats. He's giving Ash an awful lot of life, though. I do like this, taking his graveyard away, because he can't do anything about it.
Yep.
He's gonna go for the Ancient Stirrings here, just to get another threat.
He's gonna play an End. I'm gonna be surprised if he plays Ballista on 2. That's a
Ballista on 2
Temple.
Do anything is my issue. That's a good start for Ash to get back into it. He drew Cryptic Command for the turn.
That's a pretty good one, I hear.
It's not bad. He's gonna wait for the maximum greed of blocking and then seeing if he wolf runs and then bounce draw, or is he gonna tap draw?
It all depends on what Mark does in his first main phase.
This is why Mark should attack first again.
He's gonna.
Looks like he's not gonna do it.
Looks like he got a Thought Knot. Yep. Okay. Imagine see counter tap.
Counter tap feels real bad. I think you have to. I think you.
Yep, counter tap there from Ash.
I just counter draw. You need a card.
Mark drew a Blood Sun.
He needs a card more than he needs to tap these guys, right? So effectively, they're both buying a turn. They're both getting a card. Thought Not Seer is a very good card, especially when he casts it off 2 soul lands. 4/4 for 4 on turn 2 is not bad.
Seems pretty good. So the main board Blood Sun here from Mark.
Can you bring up Blood Sun? I'm gonna have to be reminded of what this non-Blood Moon card does.
And then make Billy Camino sad.
When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. All lands lose all abilities except mana abilities. So why?
So it turns off his Keswick Wolf Run.
Why would Mark play this in his own deck? Why would he even put this down?
He
doesn't have his Celestial Colonnade out.
don't know.
Because it's Mark. Okay, we got that.
It turns off his Wolf Run, which at this point I don't think it matters, but it seems a little odd to play Blood Sun on Keswick Wolf Run.
All right, if I'm Ash, I 100% have scooped by now.
Ash is asking if he gains life off the Grove with Blood Sun in play.
Well, Min's sitting literally like 2 tables behind them, but again, I don't see the relevance here. Ash is going to. They need to call a judge to get an extension and ask.
I'm trying to Google that right now.
Again, for you folks at home, he needs to be cognizant of the clock here. This is only a 4-round tournament.
So for what it's worth, due to the fact that Horizon Canopy's mana ability specifies you pay life in order to tap it, you will still be able to make green-white mana with it, but you will still pay life as normal. This is tied to the mana ability as a cost and not being removed, and the same goes for Grove with a Burn Willow. So since it's tied to the mana ability, with Horizon, you lose life. With Grove, your opponent gains life. But there, Mark, game 1, able to outgrind the control deck. Adam, why don't you talk about some sideboard options while I fix the camera?
Yeah, Man, I wish we had sideboard lists.
Or you can talk about the Pro Tour.
To be quite honest, I have no idea what Mark would even sideboard in. I would take out my Blood Suns. I'm not sure. I hope Ash has some sort of Planeswalker, a different engine in his sideboard. Again, he's kind of running a wonky version that kind of goes against two different archetypes. You don't traditionally see... I believe he still has Geist of St. Traps somewhere in his 75. Maybe he's on the play. Maybe he'll put those in. I still think that's a bad idea. He also doesn't have specific cards like blue-white decks would run, like Celestial Purge. It'll take care of it. If he has more Subtle Wreckages or Path to Exiles, I think that'd be a good inclusion. Also, if he's running Stony Silence, it doesn't do a whole lot, but it gets some value against any sort of Eldrazi decks because it stops him from activating using Mind Stone. It stops him from Relic of Progeniting. It will not stop him from Lifecraster's Bestiary, however. You see Streammeister Jake trying to get some camera time there. So One Violence says, I mean, Celestial Colonnade is a bigger threat in WinCon than Kessa Wolfron. I think it might be decent on the specific matchup, not named or worthy with though. I completely agree with you. Like I would question bringing it in, but when it hurts you, just when it hurts you just as much as it hurts your opponent, because your opponent can already take you off the Kessig Wolf run. So now you're just like, so not only can you get Spreading Seized, but you're playing your own Blood Sun. So now there's a bunch of ways to turn off your lands, which are important. It's just one of the pet cards that probably shouldn't be played in Modern. I completely agree. Mark is a big fan of his pet cards. Lifecrafter Bestiary is a cute inclusion, and in this specific matchup, it had merit. But I think Mark is definitely losing out on having that card against any aggressive deck, because it's just added clunkiness to a deck that's pretty streamlined. But Mark does love his spicy cards. And again, it'd be interesting to see, you know, how Ash kind of gets out of the gate here. He looked like a more traditional Resto Angel, you know, Wall of Omens deck, blinking and then putting pressure with Resto Angel and trying to win, trying to close the game with Gear Hulks or with Celestial Colonnades. I'd be interested again if he has Planeswalkers like Elspeth, Sun's Champion. I guess we'll see in a couple minutes when these guys finish shuffling up. Again, I hope one of them, or I really hope both of them decide to pick up the pace a little. They only have 15 minutes left for Game 2. Mark's up 1-0. The onus is on Ash to play quicker. Because they both played at a reasonable, at best, pace, but still on the slow side. Exactly. Bestiary should be in the board, if anything, but it did perform well. Yeah. I agree with that, however... I mean, that is results-based thinking in general. Same thing with Blood Sun. These are traditionally sideboard cards. It would depend on the matchups. I still can't fathom in bringing in Blood Sun or having that, even a cantrips. But the Bestiary 100% would come in against the strict control deck. Ash still might be tempo, and we just might not know. But 100%, if I'm Mark, all the cards that I saw point to it just being a pure control deck. It is taxing his mana, so I wonder what he did have to cut for it, because he didn't lead with a traditional. He's not. I don't think he's running Bloodbraid Elf because these decks traditionally run Bloodbraid Elves. I think he is running Eldrazi Obligator. Can we go to the overhead cam? All right. Well, Ash is blinking in and out. On the bright side, we get to see Mark scowling. Hopefully get to the overhead cam in a second. If worse comes to work, what we'll do is we'll just make Jake stand there. Can we tilt the camera down at the play surface at least or something? Sorry about the technical difficulties. So did anybody battle bond over the weekend? All right, maybe my idea wasn't the best idea. All right, we'll probably have to wait for the overhead view. I did play Battle Bond. I played it on Saturday afternoon. It was pretty sweet. The idea that partners come in the same pack, so like the black and white partners. The demon, where you pay a black and sack X creatures to gain X life and draw X cards, was sweet. And it fetches. It's the same thing the other way around. The white angel. It says if you gain life during a turn, at the end of the turn, put in 2 1/1s. It's also a flying angel. So essentially, every turn that as long as you get the engine started, you have one thing to sack. Every turn, you can draw 2 cards if you have 1 black open. Draw 2 cards, gain 2 life, and then put 2 counters on the angel. I'm sorry, not on the angel, on the black creature. I was also lucky enough to open up the blue 1/1 for 3. I opened up in foil. It was worth like $70 or $80. That was pretty sweet. There's no foil Trunian Nemesis though, which is apparently $1 billion. All right, so Ash. All right, let's see if Jace the Mind Sculptor's good here. My store's tables can't accommodate for 2 at a giant, sadly. Oh man, that stinks. It is probably the funnest team format that I've played almost ever. The weird part is you only had 6 or 8 packs total between the both of you. It wasn't the normal 12 packs. So you're kind of hurting on playables to make both the decks. But there was thankfully the quality of card was high enough. All the games were interesting. The cards were powerful. The partner cards are absolutely worth playing, even in 2 separate decks because they work so well together. And then being able to open up sweet things is always fun. I think a lot of people are just turned off from Conspiracy. Conspiracy is nothing like Battle Bond. Battle Bond is awesome. To be quite honest, Conspiracy wasn't very fun. Conspiracy was really weak EDH where you couldn't kill anybody, in my opinion. Alright, so we've got an active Jace the Mind Sculptor versus a Relic of Progenitus. So, interesting. I kind of like that Ash is going right for the Fate Seal just because Mark is playing Reality Smasher. But if I have a way to protect my Jace the Mind Sculptor here, if I'm Ash, I'm more inclined to brainstorm and start accruing card advantage. Because that's just as important. If he keeps Fate Sealing Mark and then loses his Jace, he's effectively hasn't got anywhere in the game. Whoa, there we go. Nice.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
So Ash with the effective land destruction, the counter bounce, which again is interesting. I'm more a fan of drawing cards if I'm Ash. Especially if you look at the texture of Ash's hand. He has a Snapcaster Mage, a basic land, and a Gear Hulk. Apparently we're also trying out a new feature. It's called Moving Cameras. The goal is to see if anybody gets nauseous during the course of the game. Damping Sphere. Okay. We're just on all the new hate cards. So if I'm Ash here, I'd probably think about brainstorming. Or at least Fate Sealing myself. Stop making noise with the desk, please. That's because Jake's headphones are set down on the desk. We'll work on that. Sorry about that. I think asked if I have a pen. I do have a pen back here. It stores several pens. Turning off. F4 is okay too.
That was fun.
Second Blood Sun.
We have 2 Blood Suns and a Damping Spear. I have thoughts about Damping Spear in this format. As if a gigantic die on the Jace the Mind Sculptor. I don't think we just need the 2 black dice on there. We'll try to get
again, I don't like this. I don't like this aggressive Fate Sealing. As soon as it got out of range for Reality Smasher, or unless I could protect my Jace from Reality Smasher, he needed to brainstorm.
We'll try to get those the 2 smaller black dice so we can at least see Jace's face on there.
So, do we think Jace is going to get killed off? I hope so. I hope Evil reigns supreme like it did on Mirrodin. And they bring back Phyrexians. I hope Jace becomes Phyrexian.
Why is that?
Because Jace is boring and generic. Or maybe they bring back Garruk and Garruk will kill him.
Garruk is going to come back, I feel like.
I think he's done forever.
He just disappeared?
I think Kior and Garruk should just be done. Much like a bunch of the one-off planeswalkers like...
Tybalt.
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what I was thinking about. Can we get Tybalt back?
What about Arlene
I remember
Cord?
that was one of the cards I first spec'd on, and obviously that didn't go well. It's a 2-mana planeswalker. It can't be bad, right? Jace the completed. Yeah,
He's a Mana Shaper. I just don't know why these Blood Suns are in Mark's deck. As he casts, what is that spell?
It's Ground Seal.
Ground Seal. That's.
It says players can't activate or target cards in graveyards, or something like that, and it draws a card. It's a cantrip.
It costs 3 mana here, which Mark did not realize at first because of the Damping Sphere. Why play Ground Seal over just the cantrip ability? And Ground Seal makes it better in Mark's deck.
Over what card?
Something like a Grafdigger's Cage.
I think Grafdigger's Cage would be strictly superior because I can find it with Ancient Stirrings, but again, it's Mark, so...
Mark has his quirks and tendencies to play the cards like this.
I mean, if you said Rest in Peace to me, then I'd say that's not good. Because then I lose my World Breakers. But... Alright, well, we seriously need to pick up this pace, or... Did we just flash in an Ambush Viper? He has an Azorius Charm. Doesn't that put an attacking creature on
Azorius Charm does that, yes.
Yeah. On the bottom or the top?
Top.
Yeah, he's got...
I think I should put a creature on the top. No, it's attacking or blocking creature on top. Okay. Instead, after just cycle it, draw the card. He will untap. Draw. Ash. I mean, Mark is up the game, so he's no. I don't know. Put us to it. However, this Jace the Mind Sculptor will
again. This
end
is
the game.
This is a textbook we should have scooped if we couldn't pressure the Jace. And your hand becomes your library. Standard fun again. Watching these.
So Mark has what, 3 turns?
I mean, Mark's dead. Mark has no turns. Yeah. All right. Again, why are we wasting time, guys? You have 5 minutes left to finish a match. We're going to draw. Ash knows he has this game, but I don't want to draw in a 4-round tournament.
No, it's just absolutely terrible. Especially round 1.
This is bad for both of them.
Mark going to try the few cards left in deck. I imagine it's Ancient Stirrings. He is not going to cast it.
Cast Ancient Stirrings.
This is a lot of mana. He still has Reality Smasher, so hold on here, everybody.
I mean, Ash's hand is...
Verdict.
Yeah.
Oh. I think it's Verdict, Gerhulk in Ash's hand. Here is a Gearhulk flashing in. Gearhulk will block Smasher. Smasher will die.
He could literally just take this damage, untap, and Supreme Verdict.
Yes.
And it wouldn't matter.
But he's all he has to do. Just go whatever, untap, Verdict, pass. All he has to do is literally play, draw, go. Mana trigger.
There's 3 minutes left, guys. Well, see, now if I'm Mark, I'm 100% not scooping here.
No, Ash is
Zero
Ash is like giving him an out. Ash is going to brainstorm. Puts back a verdict. And this kind of goes into like why I think people are off the blue-white deck instead of the Pro Tour, because it takes its time winning the game. Like, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't realize that it's set to a certain point, all you do is say draw go, draw go, draw go at the speed of light. Then you're not going to win any games. And that's all that Ash has to do is just draw go.
Hey, what additional? We want to draw cards, huh? Why? Why do you want to draw a card here?
I don't. I think he realized that I do not want to draw a card. I think he realized that after he paid one additional. But I mean, Mark's playing at a reasonable pace. He's drawing his card, he's casting his spells, and making Ash respond, which Ash is doing.
Is his source charming? Okay, Psycho. Like, he can't be putting the card back on his library.
That card based on its Blood Sun is the exiled, what's it called? The exiled ground thing?
Ground seal?
Ground seal, yeah.
I mean, you could just put it under the, the detention sphere.
Yeah.
Guys, please.
Here's the Supreme Verdict.
In my upkeep, I'll bring back.
Yeah, pretty much. This is Mark's last card. Does he have any way to put cards back into his deck? So all literally Ash has to do is say go. That's literally all he has to do when he wins.
Why?
He's going to cycle.
Why?
All Ash has to do is say go. There we go. He did it. He did it. He found the line.
All right. Well, that'll be round one because we only have a minute left. Right.
Jace the Mind Sculptor will sculpt the 1-1 draw for Ash Huston there, as we're about to bring it back in the booth here. It was an interesting round one.
I think puppies just died everywhere. Puppies.
It was definitely. We'll bring it back in the booth here for you momentarily.
I'm quite dejected.